Sports Betting by Dummies. I am your host, Patty Parlays, and with me, as always, is the guy of guys for at least another month, Connor. Connor, welcome in. How was your weekend?
Was kind of a break even weekend. Not really much happened. There was a lot of sports going on.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really happened with me.
Hey, break even's not a bad weekend.
Take it.
Now, I believe our other guy here, our voice of God, I believe his weekend may not have been as nice. Diz, how was your weekend, buddy?
Contrary to popular belief, I actually had a fantastic weekend. I lost the best bets competition, but other than that, everything else is going great. So I appreciate that assumption there, Patty. I'm doing well. The best part about this best bets competition is as long as this podcast stays on the air, there's always another month.
True.
So pretty
True.
juiced that I'm gonna come back and win it for my Diz stands in November.
How was your gambling weekend? I know you had a fantastic Halloween weekend, but how was your gambling weekend?
You were right in that sense. I did not have a good gambling weekend.
Okay, okay.
Um,
That was
I did manage to break even. I live bet the Titans when they were down 14-0 early against the Colts. Just got great value there. I got plus 300, so 3-1 payout, and I threw quite a bit of cheddar on that. So broke even. Bengals killed me, and then I took a lot of high value stuff to try to catch you in the competition. So um, managed to break even, but best bets wise did not do well, obviously, as we all know.
yeah, absolutely. But that is okay because, like you said, it is a new month, fresh slate for the competition. Except for Connor, who somehow managed to get one more last same game parlay in for tonight. But we'll hit that when we get there. It's Monday night tonight. We got the Chiefs versus the Giants, another classic Monday nighter, which means, of course, we have daily fantasy for you all, and we will let our guy of guys, Connor, lead us off with his daily fantasy lineup for tonight's game.
All right. So MVP. I was deciding between two players, both Giants players. I ended up going with Devontae Booker. I'm
Ooh,
not sure
okay,
too many people
okay.
are going to have that,
Yep.
and I think it's going to be their uh, pretty much their offense is running the ball. The Chiefs are terrible at stopping the run. Then I went with who would have been my number two choice for MVP. I went with Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little more nervous since he was hurt recently. He's going to be that recurring injury guy during the season. So I
Kind of
wanted to
like
make
every,
sure that I had Booker.
kind of like everyone on the Giants, right? Just injury after injury for the Giants.
Not like everyone in the league after this weekend.
Also true.
Everyone's getting hurt.
Shout out Derrick Henry. Hopefully he's all right.
Then I went on to Damian Williams. So I wanted to make sure I had both running backs in there. And move on to Evan Ingram. I went heavy on the Giants this time, or heavier on the Giants. I feel pretty good about tight ends, which is why I went with my number 5, Travis Kelce. I was going to stay away from Kelce and Tyreek Hill, but I just couldn't. There was enough money left over, and I figured why not?
I
Go to
love it.
tight end, Travis Kelce. To do it.
Now, I wanted to make sure this was very clear, and that's why I looked it up and looked at my phone while you were talking about that. The name is Daryl Williams. Damian Williams.
Carolyn,
Yeah, it's Daryl Williams. So not Damian. Don't take Damian because I don't think Damian is even in the
Damian
league
Williams.
anymore. There is a lot of Williams, and I'm pretty sure at one point Damian and Daryl were both on the Chiefs.
Probably last year.
Yeah. So it's Daryl Williams. You want Daryl Williams.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Go
All
on.
right. Diz, why don't you go ahead and give us your daily fantasy lineup?
Yeah, absolutely. My lineup, I'm not gonna lie, is very sloppy. I threw this together last second.
Shocker.
And I'm trying to I'm trying sorry, Pat, I worked
Sorry, I
really
know.
hard today.
I know.
I
I
worked
know.
really hard in the office today.
As you always
Uh,
do. I know.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to remember this. I had Mahomes and Dimes. I took Mahomes MVP. I'm still just in denial. I think he's a great quarterback. There's no denying that. I think he's gonna pop off. I really do. Took him as MVP. Danny Dimes as well. I just think you have to include Danny Dimes in these because of his rushing ability. It seems like every primetime game he'll have a breakout run and then trip on the 30-yard line or something. I don't know. But I'm confident Danny Dimes is going to give me some rushing points, which I'm pretty looking forward to that. All right, let me think here. Let me dig deep. I got Travis Kelce. So obviously with those 3 off the board, I had very little value left. So I got my boy Byron Pringle. I think it's a really cool name, and he was one of the few value picks I had left. So I got Byron Pringle. And then my last guy, trying to think who it was. Maybe it was Nicole Hardman. That might be wrong. That might be too much value, but it's another Chiefs receiver that isn't one of Mahomes' go-to targets. It was the only value I had left, so I went with him.
Nice. I love it. And before we move on to my daily fantasy lineup, I just want to shout out our boy TY. He's currently monitoring the YouTube chat. Gave us a test comment. He said Colts money line. I think he's talking about for that Thursday night Jets game. Might have to hammer that one for our boy TY, but it's good to know that the comments on YouTube are working. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, we are live on YouTube every single day. Nope, that's not right. We are live on YouTube Monday, Thursday, Friday every week around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find we found this out today. To find us on YouTube, all you have to do is type in "sports betting by dummies" or even "sports betting for dummies" in the YouTube search column. Filter by channel. We are the first option that comes up, so you can find us on there. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers so that we can get you guys that custom URL. All right, moving on. My daily fantasy lineup. So I went Danny Dimes as my MVP. The Chiefs' defense has been nothing short of terrible this season. I think we can all agree on that. That's why we have quite a few, Giants players in these lineups. The Chiefs rank 26th in pass yards given up per game and 27th in rush yards per game given up. So I think Danny Dimes can do both of those, kind of like Diz hit on. I expect a shootout in a high-scoring game, and Danny Dimes is going to shine in prime time tonight. My next 2 picks are kind of, star asterisk, like pay attention to the lineups picks. So my first one is Sterling Shepard. He is questionable for tonight's game. He does have projected points. He does not have options on FanDuel right now for actual player props. So keep an eye on who's active and who's inactive tonight. But if Sterling Shepard plays, I think you got to play him. People have been sleeping on him all season, and I love this guy especially for fantasy. His only issue is availability, like I said. But he sees a ton of targets whenever he does play, and he puts up yards and touchdowns. I love Sterling Shepard there. And then my next one is Kadarius Toney. Now, this man is crazy. First off, he is also questionable for tonight, so we might have to make some changes later on. But after I was done with this lineup, I actually had $2,000 left over, so I feel comfortable that if either one of these gentlemen are out tonight, we should have enough value left over to pick whoever we want. But Kadarius Toney, early on in the season, he complained as a rookie that he was not getting the ball enough. He had 5 targets in the first 3 weeks combined. Since then, he has had 22 targets in 2 full games that he has played. That is ridiculous number of targets, and he's put up usually they say be the person you can afford to be, and so coming out as a rookie after 3 games and complaining about the targets, you better perform. And I'll tell you, he straight up has. He's been balling out. So it gets a sketchy Kansas City Chiefs defense again. If Toney and Shepard play, you want them in your daily fantasy lineup for tonight. Then, like Connor, I went Devontae Booker. He is starting tonight for the Giants. The running back with Saquon out again. And again, I am clearly fading the Chiefs defense in this lineup. And then finally, I went Darrell Williams. Not Damian Williams. Darrell Williams. This is my one Chiefs player in this lineup. And the reason I went here is because I think the Chiefs may try a different game plan tonight coming off back-to-back losses. You lose games, you got to make changes somewhere. Mahomes has 9 turnovers this season. In the last 2 seasons combined, he has had 11. I think tonight they decide to run the ball more, kind of control the ball more, and try to do more checkdowns instead of trying to force down the field to Hill or Kelsey. So I think you could see overs in rushing and receiving yards for Darrell Williams tonight. All right. That wraps up our daily fantasy. So let's roll into our best bets for tonight. But of course, we always review our best bets from Friday. I went 1 and 2. I am literally limping my way into November. But unless Connor hits that same game parlay tonight, Your boy's looking at another win in the best bets competition for October. Diz, how did your best bets do on Friday or this weekend? Whatever, you get it.
I went 0-4. I have no further comments at this time. Fresh slate with November. We're moving on. First day of school vibes for me right here. Fresh start for me.
The Febreze brothers.
Fresh right now.
All right, Connor. How did you do? I think you did pretty all right.
2 and 3, but overall, those plus odds on the 2 that I hit almost canceled it out. Then I have the 1 pending same game parlay for the lead that's going to hit tonight. So that's all that we have to figure out is who's Diz buying dinner for.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I was telling Connor, Diz, I said, if Connor wins this month, then we can all go out to dinner together and you'll have to pay for everybody's.
It's not true. As long as I come in second, you would pay for Connor and I would pay for you.
Okay, but I'm already ahead of you and you're done, so I can't come in lower than second.
Oh, you mean October. Got it. Sorry. Whiteland Death Spot. Missed that for a second.
Yeah, no problem. But just wanted to throw that out there.
You want my last same game parlay for October that I placed 2 days ago?
Go ahead and share it with the people. Give it to us.
All right, we have Kansas City Chiefs money line. We have Travis Kelce anytime touchdown scorer. We have Devontae Booker over 50.5 yards. We have Darrell Williams over 58.5 yards. And the one I'm most concerned about is Travis Kelce over 78.5 yards.
Okay,
The only one I'm nervous about.
All right. Well, now that people know that's what's riding tonight for the best bets competition on this Chiefs game tonight. So if that hits, Connor wins. If he doesn't, I win. And either way, Diz is buying someone dinner. But let's get into our best bets of the night. I got 2 in the NBA and I got 1 on the ice for you guys. My first one is Spurs +3 versus the Pacers. There's no sugarcoating. The Pacers are bad this year. Yes, they are hurt, but LeVert is back and playing, which is a plus. But Brogdon is still banged up. Lamb is banged up, and TJ Warren is banged up as well. And the Spurs, despite being 2-4 straight up, which is actually one more win this season than what the Pacers have, they are 4-2 against the spread this season compared to 2-5 for the Pacers. So I love the Spurs tonight at +3.
Now willing to take the money line?
I thought about it. I really thought about it, but in the NBA, it's always kind of wacky, and sometimes you'll get a last second 3, last second 2, something like that. I didn't want to go money line. I not that confident. I'll
money line value, Pat.
122. 122.
Wow, look at Connor just having that on the ready.
Yeah.
So there you go, +122. You get an extra $1 or so if you're feeling it. My next best bet, still in the NBA, I'm going Trailblazers +2 versus the 76ers. This is a classic game where people take this take the 76ers without knowing the injury report. Joel Embiid is out tonight for the 76ers. Ben Simmons still out for the 76ers. So they lose their best scoring option for this season, and I'm worried that the Trailblazers are just going to be too good of a team to handle the 76ers without their best player. Trailblazers don't have anybody out tonight, so I'm rolling with the Blazers and the points. Again, I probably could take money line here, Connor, but I don't feel super confident. And then my final one, we're heading to the ice. I am taking the Ottawa Senators money line versus the Chicago Blackhawks at plus money. You heard that right. You can get the Senators money line right now at plus money. The Blackhawks have not won a game yet this season, and you are able to get the Senators at plus money. You better hammer the Senators tonight.
I noticed this as well. I was a little surprised. But not to tease my pick, I'll save it for my best bet selection. I do have action on this game.
There's no way you're taking the Blackhawks. There is no way. But let's go to Connor and let him get his best bets, and then we will finish with Diz and have this debate.
So I've got football, I've got hockey, we got soccer,
Oh,
and baseball.
wow! Look at this guy. He's multifaceted. He's just going all over the place.
So I have a source for soccer, but it's proven to be a rough source. I took Everton money line versus Wolves plus 270. They are currently losing 2-1 right now. 90 minutes in. Yeah.
Not looking great.
Nope. I went ahead and I took the Senators as well. You got them at plus 118. I got them at plus 114.
Oh, man.
Rough. That's going to be the decider at the end. Chiefs and Giants going over 52 points.
Love it.
Minus 110. Then finally, Braves are going to end the World Series tomorrow night.
Let's go.
Going to win it. Plus 108 is what I got them at. Going to seal the deal.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
They're done. They want to go home. They don't want to play his 7th game.
Right. They don't want to travel back to Houston for Game 7. They want to end this at home in Atlanta. Call it.
Right.
Love it. Diz, what do you got?
I technically only have two, and I guess we'll go for a group vote and ruling, I guess, on the
Every time.
final bet. Well, at least I'm asking the group instead of just assuming that it will fly.
True.
So you got that going for you. First one, it is the Capitals. I don't even remember who they're playing, and it doesn't matter. The over's 5.5. I hammered it. It was the only game tonight with a 5.5 point total. So goal total that is over 5.5 there.
They're playing the Lightning, by the way.
Yes, Capitals Lightning. I also have the Lightning and the Blackhawks money line parlay. I know Pat's gonna lose his mind. I was a little shocked that the Senators had plus money, but instead of taking the Senators, FanDuel had a boost Lightning and Blackhawks both to win at plus 240. And the way I see this, I think the Lightning are a lock tonight.
I disagree.
So all I really need is the Blackhawks to win, and if they do, I get great value on that. Now, watch the Lightning lose. I just bit my own tongue there. But with that being said, to get the Blackhawks to win at that value, I'm going to jump on that. Even though I do like the Ottawa at plus value, the Ottawa Senators at plus value, I'm riding Blackhawks Lightning combined at plus 240. Those are my two. And then I will add, I have the first time touchdown bonus on FanDuel. I have $25 on Travis Kelce to be the first time touchdown scorer at plus 550. Now, I don't know if you guys want to count that as a best bet. I would love it if we did. The contingency, the discrepancy that is that it's a FanDuel bonus where I get $5 for every touchdown the Chiefs score tonight. So if you guys are okay with just doing a plus 550 best bet, then I'm all in. If Kelce doesn't score it, then I lose that bet. But I guess the discrepancy is I never would have made that pick if I didn't get the money back for Chiefs touchdown. So I don't know how you guys feel on that.
I think that's up to you, Diz. Honestly, we're not going to if the Chiefs score 5 points, we're not going to say you bet 0 units. But it's up to you to decide if you want that to be a best bet or not. It's only going to be for 1 unit. So you can say, yes, you want that to be a best bet, or no, you don't. And I understand you wouldn't have made that bet if the FanDuel promotion wasn't there, but that's completely up to you if you want it to be a best bet or not. Do you agree, Connor? I mean, I don't have a problem with giving him a first touchdown scorer, but it's up to him if he wants it to be the best bet or not.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm riding it. Plus 550, Kelce, first time touchdown scorer. What I learned in October is no matter how good of a month you have to have insane value picks to win this competition. I was winning. I was coasting. I was sticking to what I knew, as you would say. And Patty hit an insane parlay, and I was chasing, and I came in last because of it. So Obviously, I'm sticking to what I know, but I'm also going to have a lot more high-value picks early on in the month. So I'm riding that Kelsey first TUD plus 550.
I like it. And Connor does that as well. Connor always goes for the plus odds picks, and all he has to do is hit, like, 2 out of 3 or even 2 out of 5, as was the case on Friday, and he's still gaining ground. So this competition is starting to slowly shift towards plus value picks only, almost.
Everton just lost, by the way. You are both ahead of me right now.
Connor's
Let's
not-
go! I'm not in last. I'm not in last.
Oh man, Connor's never gonna trust his source ever again.
I'm gonna check on my sources.
Awesome.
Same source that you use for soccer.
Yeah, exactly.
What's more upsetting is that both of them said to do it. But that's okay.
I don't know that the second one did. The second one said both teams to score, which that one hit. But the first one said Everton money line. And so
Let's check the tape.
Yeah. We have the history on in our group chat, so we'll have to check that out. Now, let's get into the parlays of the day. Now, Diz, we have a special one for you. We're calling it the Office Parlay of the Day. Okay?
Yes, sir. I'm all for it.
So, basically, we have a couple guys in the office, me and Connor included, that are pretty into gambling. We always throw ideas, bets, back and forth, whatever. So we actually collaborated with 2 other guys in our office. Shout out Luke. Shout out Alex. And so what we did was we put together a same game parlay for the Chiefs and Giants game that is almost a certain lock. All right? It's plus 687 odds. So we got Kadarius Toney over 52.5 receiving yards. Darrell Williams over 16.5 receiving yards. Daniel Jones over 24.5 rushing yards, and then Daniel Jones 225 plus passing yards. So we feel good about those. That's almost a certain lock, and it's a nice little bank builder for your Monday, especially if you had a tough weekend. So that's the Office Parlay of the day. Now, do you guys want the Hail Mary same game parlay of the day? Or do you want the multi-sport Hail Mary parlay of the day?
Same game.
Okay. Connor wants the same game. Let's keep it going. Again, Chiefs-Giants, this one, $10 risk-free on DraftKings to win. I don't know yet because there's actually a couple legs that I might add on to it. But when I looked at this was $10 to win $600. And I might add a couple more legs on the back end of it. But, so this is Chiefs-Giants. Daniel Jones over 249.5 passing yards. Daniel Jones over 24.5 rushing yards. Mahomes over 24.5 rushing yards. Darrell Williams 15 plus receiving yards. Darrell Williams 3 plus receptions. Devontae Booker 15 plus receiving yards. Devontae Booker over 44.5 rushing yards. Over 47.5 total points. Evan Ingram 20 plus receiving yards, and Evan Ingram 3 plus receptions. Now, I may be adding on Sterling Shepard over receiving yards and over receptions, but those were not listed yet because he is listed as questionable. So keep an eye on the injury report, like I said, for that.
I love how many overs you had in there, Patty.
Exactly, and I knew you would. And so basically what I decided was, instead of getting into the classic situation where I'm trying to find an under that I like, doing whatever, I put in more legs, but I did more overs, and I put them at very reasonable numbers that they've hit in a majority of games this season. And with these 2 terrible defenses, hopefully they should light up the scoreboard tonight and the stat sheets. Let's ride.
Let's ride, baby.
Now we will do the multi-sport Hail Mary parlay of the day. Now, I think Connor saw the value on this, but Diz, do you want to guess the value on this? This is a 12-leg multi-sport Hail Mary parlay of the day.
Sheesh. $1, of course, to win. 13 hundo.
Not even close. $1 to win
Jeez.
$2,247.47. We got 3 on the ice because there's only 3 games on the ice tonight. Capitals money line versus the Lightning. Diz, right away when you said you like the Lightning and the Blackhawks, I'm going against you in both of those. I'm also going Senators money line versus the Blackhawks. And then finally, Oilers money line versus our beloved Kraken. Unfortunately, have to do it. The Oilers are hot. The Kraken have been playing better. There's no denying it, but the Kraken are also going with their backup goalie tonight. So I'm going with the Oilers money line versus the Kraken. And then the rest of these are in the NBA. Trailblazers +2 versus the 76ers. Hornets -4.5 versus the Cavs. Spurs +3 versus the Pacers. Wizards +5.5 versus the Hawks. Knicks -6.5 versus the Raptors. Bulls +2.5 versus the Celtics. Nuggets +1.5 versus the Grizzlies. Timberwolves -9 versus the Magic. And then finally Clippers -12 versus the Thunder.
I was going to give you a lot of heat for going against the mantra of the pod, which is bet together, win together. But then I realized that this is my fault because I didn't read the episode notes. So that's on me. I would hate if you're ripping this whole thing and then the Blackhawks win. I really would.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, that would suck. But me and Connor were actually betting together, and you're the one that was going against it. So
yeah, that's on me.
But it's all good.
Question for you, Diz. You're not thinking of
Yes, sir.
hedging that Blackhawks bet if you're so sure that the Lightning is going to win?
That's a great thought.
Separately?
That's a great thought. I'm actually thinking about doing this. Since we started the pod, I placed these bets right before, of course, as I always do, waiting for the last moment. But that is a great thought. I appreciate that. I'm gonna look into it here after the pod. That's a great call.
We're big hedgers over here.
Depends on your confidence with the Lightning. I think that one's going to be a lot closer than you think, though, Diz.
I agree.
I have Lightning kill me, kill my heart. They stomp my team every time they play. So I'm it's kind of an emotional hedge because I hate the Lightning so much, but I will take that into consideration.
I mean, where I'm at with the Cowboys.
The Lightning Diz, I mean, they don't look like the same Lightning that we saw last year. I can tell you that.
That's true.
But
I'll admit that.
I will say the game of the night has to be Capitals Lightning. I mean, I could see that one going either way. It's going to be a good matchup.
For sure.
All right, gentlemen, anything you guys need to get off your chest before we call it a Monday?
Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles on beating the most beatable team in the league. Be sure you celebrate it because you're about to get smacked next week against the Chargers.
Yeah. I was about to say, Connor, I think Sirianni just kept his job for a bit.
Yeah. Got another week.
Another week? I'm trying to see. I think I heard that this line was already set, but let me just check real quick. So the Chargers are only 2.5-point favorites versus the Eagles next week.
Where's it at?
Philadelphia. Are you seriously considering taking the Eagles?
Me? No.
Okay. I just wanted to check and make sure.
They're wildly inconsistent. This is major overreaction Monday, big time to the max. You just smashed the Lions, and you're about to get a big reality check next weekend.
Well, and it's the perfect overreaction too, right? Chargers just came off a loss to the Patriots, and then now the Eagles just came off a huge win against the Lions. If you want the Chargers at -2.5, you may want to take that today. I imagine the public will get wind of this, and that line will move above 3, and we all know when you get that line above 3, that's a bad number in gambling.
My younger brother just shared a certificate that says congratulations presented to Nick Sirianni for learning how to run the effing football.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And speaking of that, shout out Jordan Howard, IU alum who got 2 rushing touchdowns for the Eagles on Sunday. So I love that.
I'm glad to have Jordan Howard back. He was one of my favorites.
Do you think with when Miles Sanders comes back, Jordan Howard kind of gets back into the mix and maybe becomes kind of that power back on the goal line that he used to be? Or do you think he reverts back to the practice squad and it's just, again, the two-headed monster with Sanders and Gainwell?
I think he's going to the practice squad only because we have 4 running backs.
Yeah. I know. It's
Unfortunate. I would love for him to stay on the team, but I don't know who else it's either him or Boston Scott that's going to go to the practice squad.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
I want to add before we sign off here, I may be the all-time jinx. I said take Derrick Henry MVP at 23-1. I thought that value was insane, and now he's out indefinitely for the regular season. So if you haven't learned by now, don't listen to anything I say on this podcast.
Yeah, down bad for sure. That T's and P's out to Derrick Henry. Hopefully, he gets healed up, gets recovered. Yeah, and really unfortunate if you picked him number 1 overall on your fantasy football team, and now he's out for the season.
I would never do that, even though I did. That was the joke.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, wait, what are we talking about? Okay.
So what value can you get him at now?
I don't think
That's
he's an
a great,
option
You
right
get
now.
great
That's a great point. That's a great point. I love that. Hammer the value.
I'll be honest, I went in earlier to see if I could cash out on my Derrick Henry MVP, and the cash out was not available. So I assume it is not available to bet him anymore either.
You just bet the house on him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although I wonder, and there's been this kind of conversation before with like Peyton Manning when he was out for the season and the Colts went like 2-14. If the Titans lose every game from here on out for the rest of the season, do you give Derrick Henry MVP because you realize he's actually the most valuable player for his team?
No.
It'll never happen.
MVPs for the league,
Right,
though.
right. It'll never happen, and it's always one of those that it would be really cool if it happened, but there's no chance it would ever happen. I just wanted to get your guys' input on that.
Then it would be a pity party participation trophy, and I'm not about participation trophies.
We know you're.
And while I just ruined my own credibility, Brady bounced back to 6-1. So better value for Brady. I know they did not win last night, but Brady is still going to lead the league in touchdowns. He's still going to lead the league in passing yards, and I think the Bucs are still going to run up the score on teams that they should win, even though they didn't last night. Don't listen to what I say, but hey, take Tom Brady 6-1. Double down.
Double down.
Just
Wow.
keep funneling more money into a losing bet until it hits, right? You're telling
That's
me
what
there's a chance.
That's what my Diz stands are all about.
Well, our boy TY in the YouTube comments said he just put his whole 401k on Derrick Henry to win MVP, so he's down bad.
Just now? No, he did it just now, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. Plus 100,000 value.
Oh yeah. If anyone gives you plus, what does Kevin say, Diz?
Gives you 10,000 to 1.
You take
You
it.
bet it.
Yeah. That's exactly it. So, another Office reference. Man, we're just full of them today. Well, that does it for us. Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate you. Shout out TY for commenting and listening on YouTube. Feel free to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at SportsBetByDumb. You can send us DMs, messages on those platforms, give us picks, advice, recommendations on how to make the show better. And then anywhere that you are listening to this on a podcast platform, make sure you give that a 5-star rating if you like the show. We really appreciate that. That helps us a lot. And again, if you want to watch us live, just like our boy TY, you can check us out on YouTube. And we found out just today, and I mentioned earlier, if you just go into the YouTube, type in the search bar, Sports Betting by Dummies, and you filter by channel, we are the first option up there. We are trying to grow that platform. And unfortunately, but believe it or not, we are on Twitter as well, but we will be going solely to YouTube in the not so very far future. So you want to get into YouTube now, make sure you have it saved and everything so you're not missing out on any of the action. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you all on Thursday.